And a good spiritual morning to you once again. Thanks for joining me today for a quick chat and, of course, our morning cup of coffee. And we talked about Charlie Kirk a little bit, and we haven't talked about Jimmy Kimmel. Who thought anyone would be talking about Jimmy Kimmel? Is he still a thing? Is he still on TV? There's a whole sort of situation that's been brewing, and again, by the time this comes out, I don't know what developments will have taken place. But in the interim, while I'm making this video, Jimmy Kimmel has been sort of taken off the air for a period of time. We don't know the determined period of time, at least at this point. And all sorts of protests against, censorship, not allowing free speech. He was taken off apparently because of comments he made regarding or in regards to the Charlie Kirk assassination. And so what do we think about this, and what can we learn for our spiritual life as Orthodox Christians? Well, I think number one, we should try to be balanced, and we should try to be consistent. This is a complicated issue, and we like to oversimplify it and say, well, it's just about censorship and free speech. Well, yes and no. I mean, there is some money involved. There is some business involved. When in doubt, there's usually money involved in whatever you're talking about. And there's politics involved. And, the people that are protesting, saying, this is about free speech and censorship and you can't have that because someone on the left has been censured or canceled, were those same people outside protesting when someone on the right was censured or canceled? I don't think so. So it's not just about free speech. It's about the free speech you like. And that's where it's getting sort of out of balance and inconsistent. Now, I don't have a horse in the race. I don't really care one way or another which side is doing what. But the reality is it's pretty obvious that you can see the imbalance and the inconsistency. And so that's something that I think in the spiritual life we need to strive for, balance and consistency. Don't sort of go all in on one thing and neglect everything else. There are people that will say, Father, I read the Bible all the time. I don't hear that a lot, but every once in a while. And but you read the Bible all the time. That's great. But you don't go to church. I go to church all the time, but I don't pray. I pray every day, but I never fast. I do all of that stuff, but I never help people or volunteer. So there's this idea that there's an imbalance in the spiritual life. You want to be balanced. You want to be trying to do everything that you can do in order to find communion and peace with God. And then the consistency. Try to be consistent. The inconsistency is detrimental. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I do it when I like it. I don't do it when I don't like it. And, again, people are protesting Disney and ABC to come back to our Jimmy Kimmel situation. I forget the name of the actress. There was some actress that was part of the Star Wars franchise, one of the shows, and she made some conservative comments. She was fired. And that's Disney, right? Disney owns, like everything else, they own everything. They own Star Wars. Those people that were outside of the headquarters protesting for Jimmy Kimmel, were they out there protesting for her? There's inconsistency. And so it's the same thing in the spiritual life. You want to be consistent with everything that we're doing. Don't say, well, today I'm going to do this. Why? Well, because I feel like it. That's not consistent. And when you're inconsistent, there won't be growth, right? If you want growth, you've got to lay a stable foundation with consistent behavior that you can build on. And people say, I don't feel a lot, that I'm benefiting a lot out of my prayer life. Well, when do you pray? Well, when I can. Well, of course, you're not going to grow that way. You've got to be consistent. Say, well, I want to do this little bit every night or this little bit on these days, and be consistent, establish the habit and build on it. So balance and consistency, trying to do everything a little bit, not to stay out of balance, and trying to really develop a routine and a habit that we can build on. And those things will get us some progress in the spiritual life, and they'll get us closer and closer to Christ each and every day. Amen.